Yo, what it do, people? Welcome back to another video. It is your boy Two-Tone, and in today's video we're doing something different. We're going to be looking out into the future to see what would be best for Barcelona. Just giving my personal opinion at the end of the video. I would love to hear you guys' perspective on today's topic, but I'm just going to jump right into it. Barcelona's biggest priority in 2026 shouldn't be focused on replacing Lewandowski. I believe the club's top priority should be a center back, and I'm going to explain why. So obviously, understanding our Barcelona striker situation, right now we got Lewandowski and we got Ferran Torres as the backup striker. Lewandowski just turned 37. Contract runs up in 2026. So naturally, Barcelona should be looking for some kind of form of replacement just to keep the numbers the same. When you look at some of the names that's been linked, not to say that Barcelona's made any moves yet, because they really can't focus on next year when they need to wrap up this summer. But in the press, they can come out with all kind of rumors and kind of see if it makes sense and see the fans' reaction. And looking in the, press or just looking on articles or whatever it may be, Barcelona has been linked to some of the biggest names in the game as far as Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez. It was Isak at one point in time, but I do believe he's going to end up at Liverpool, so you can kind of scratch him off the list. Another name that was circling was Gyökeres, but obviously he's made his move to Arsenal. But you can already see the links that's kind of coming up this summer. So next summer, understanding that Barcelona should be in the 1-1 rule, Barcelona would have, I would expect that Barcelona would have the financial firepower to be able to really sign any elite striker at a reasonable price. Don't mean we're going to go out there and spend $200 million. I hope not. I hope them Bartomeu days is long and over with. But understand that if we're back in the 1-1, Barcelona generates a lot of money to begin with. So we'd be able to spend freely, and they can turn around and go out there and maybe spend $100 million on a striker. And while that would be nice, understanding that we would eventually need to replace Lewandowski, I do believe that that's unnecessary. And that first big money signing that we should make as Barcelona is at the center back position. Look, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, Ferran Torres is serviceable enough. Already in the team, already used to Hansi Flick's system, had a really solid season last year, and he's already starting off 2 games, 2 goals. He's doing exactly what you need your striker to do. Even looking at the game against Levante, you can argue that he probably should have had a hat trick, probably. But just knowing that he's only 25, he had put up good numbers last season, and most of those goals and assists were coming off the bench. So understanding that he's only 25, a lot of his goals that he got last year was coming off the bench, and we already can see early on this season, if Ferran Torres starts at the striker position with Hansi Flick's system, we're going to create enough opportunities where I do believe Ferran Torres can get his numbers. But my concern with watching Barcelona has really nothing to do with the attack. I feel like at any moment we can get our goals. Our main issue is defending. Now, it's partly due to tactics, because as everybody know, Hansi Flick, he runs this suicidally high back line. And because he runs that super high back line, it puts our defenders at risk. And for the most part last season, it worked. That high line, it worked. And when you look at the pairing of having a left foot center back and a right foot center back who can make passes really anywhere from the back line, it made us that much more of a threat offensively. And when you remove a left-footed center back like Inigo Martinez and you put Kubarsi at the left center back position to then insert Ronald Araujo at the right center back, while I do think a game or two that can work, maybe against mid-level, lower-level teams in La Liga, that can work. But my concern for Barcelona is not about what they will be doing against mid-level or lower-level teams in La Liga. Last season was near perfect outside of getting that Champions League. So going into this year, while the objective would still be the same: win La Liga, Copa del Rey, Super Copa, and then compete for the Champions League. While I do think we have a squad to do the first three, something like last year, maybe a tad bit more difficult without Inigo Martinez, I do believe right now, as things stand, I don't know if Barcelona's defense is strong enough to win the Champions League. Offensively, of course. Midfield-wise, of course. Coaching-wise, of course. But it's that back line. And I'm not really I just don't feel confident. I didn't feel confident last year. And this year's defense is worse. We didn't make any signings to improve it. And we literally lost a starter. So, by definition, the defense is worse than last year's. And we saw last year's defense in the most pivotal tie of the season in the semifinal. Was in Champions League. We gave up, 7 goals in 2 legs? 7, 8 goals? I don't even, honestly, bro, I don't remember because I want to forget it because of how that turned out. Like, I'm the type of person where we lose and it's a heartbreaking loss, I watch it that one time and then that's it. I don't go back and sit and watch highlights of something that hurts. Like, that's just me. Everybody can fan however they want to fan, but for me, I'm not going to go back and watch that. So I don't really remember how many specific goals that we gave up against Inter, but it was a lot. And it was enough to where it knocked us out of the Champions League. So, getting back to my point, Barcelona's priority signing should not be a striker going into next summer. Instead, we need to be spending a lot of money on a center back. And specifically, a center back that's good enough to start at day one so he can replace Inigo. And 2, young enough to where we don't have to develop him, but young enough to where he can come in, but also be a starter for the next at least 5 to 7 years, at least. And it has to make sense going in that direction. We just have to. Like I said, I don't know what the board's plans are going into next summer. Obviously, I'm just a fan, just speaking on my perspective. And while we have always been linked to a striker in 2026, I'm looking at it and like, look, if we make our big money signing at center back and then we got more money left over to sign a striker, I'm all for it. But understanding that I highly doubt Barcelona would be in a situation where they can do both in one window, just getting to the 1-1. Again, this is me anticipating that we will be back under the 1-1. So I don't expect that we'll spend 80 million on a center back and then another 120 on a striker. That's 200 million in 2 players. I don't see that unless some big sales happen. But usually when it comes to Barcelona, we're terrible at selling players. So understanding all of that, I don't think we can do both. So we have to prioritize. And that is why, for me, Barcelona should prioritize signing a center back. Now, for me, if you ask, okay, well, big money center back, who's out there? Who would you want? I think there's only one option. And for me, that's Bastoni. The center back from Inter Milan, left-footed, tall. I guess you can throw in Schlotterbeck. I don't know how to say this name, but you know what I'm talking about. The center back from Dortmund. You could throw him in there as well. But preferably, I want Bastoni. And he can already tell you low-key a Barcelona fan. Just the way that he interacted with the players after our semi-final clash between Inter and Barcelona. I don't think he will have any problem sliding into the starting 11. But it allows Cabarsi, more importantly, to continue to develop because he is very young still. Like, I know he's been playing with us for a while, but he's still young. I want him to develop naturally in the right center back position while we have somebody experienced and who can use their left foot at the left center back position. If we shore that up by bringing in somebody like Bastoni and assuming that maybe Christensen or Araujo is not there next year, maybe add even one more piece. You even come from La Masia. I don't know. I don't really care. But seriously, Barcelona cannot go into the season next year. With this year, I mean, you can really just say next year. Barcelona can't go into next season with still Kubarsi and Ronald Araujo as the guaranteed starters, Gerard Martin as the only left-footed center back, Andrea Christensen, a player who's not really reliable as far as fitness, and that's it. That's the only 4 center backs that I can think of, unless I'm missing somebody. I mean, yes, we have Koundé and we have Eric Garcia who can play as a center back as well, but right now they're not center backs, they're right backs. And if we're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 with an attacking mid, we're going to have fullbacks. So we're going to have Eric Garcia and Koundé at right back. So therefore we need other center backs to be able to fulfill the squad depth. And if we're going to be doing that, we need to go all out with the left-footed center back. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. Like I said, I really don't know what the club's directions are. And while I do believe you can do better at the number 9 with Ferran Torres, I don't think there's a striker out there that's going to be so much better that is going to justify his value at 120, 130 million when we got Ferran Torres here still banging in goals, right? We know he's not the finished product or as far as the best player in this position, but he's still only 25 and he can continue to grow, especially if he's now looked at as the out and out number 9 within the team. So it may not be sexy, but I think it may be necessary if we're really trying to build a stable team that not only can make a run like it did last year, but continuously do that. And so while signing a striker may be the sexy pick for everybody else, I believe that Barcelona should be prioritizing the center back. And like I said, if you ask me, I'm going with Bastoni. I'll take Schlotterbeck as a backup option, but for me, I'm going with Bastoni. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, because like I said, a lot of people I talk to just offline, talking to Barcelona fans, everybody's fixated on finding that next striker, and they want to do it next window, where I'm kind of sitting back looking at it like, Ferran Torres is doing all right, bro. Like, I'm being honest, he's doing enough. I would rather us take that money and find a serious center back, not somebody just plug and chug. I think we got lucky with Inigo, getting him, I believe, was it free? He just came in with high wages, and he came in. Now, that first year, he's kind of injury prone a little bit, but coming into that second season, he was everything for us. So I believe that should be Barcelona's priority. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man, in the comments. And I do appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all leave a like. Again, comment about who y'all think we should sign. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? If you disagree and you think we should go with a number 9, who should that number 9 would be? But I do, again, appreciate you guys for watching this video. I will be coming out with more content here, maybe even later on today. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Until then, peace.